Okay, here we are. We're going to try cutting some fingers into Pete's hand here. And once we glue this duck into Pete's hand, probably never see the light of day again. Okay, so we've got one finger, two fingers, 1, 2, 3 fingers, 1, 2, 3, 4 fingers. Okay, so we're looking at the hand like this, guys. Okay, so you're going to see 4 fingers, and then the thumb, if everything works out right, should be right here, right below the hand. So we're going to have the hand cupped like this to hold the duck. So we got the cupping action going on here in the hand. We got the 4 fingers, and now we got to try cutting that thumb in, which always seems to be tricky, getting the thumb right, because it never seems to come out right. I mean, it comes out good enough, but not the way I want it. So let's give it a shot. So here's the tricky part. 1, 2, 3, 4. You got to stay away from that 4th finger there, right? Okay, I think we got our thumb down low enough, because it's going to be like this, right? So I think we got our thumb down low enough. So all we have to do now get that flattened out a little bit so we can draw our thumb, which is going to be right alongside that finger there. I think we've got that. Okay, that's our thumb. Shop inspector's out there going nuts. Probably found herself something to run up a tree. So we're going to end up taking just the end of our thumb off here, right? So our thumb is right. There's the palm of our hand. And there's our thumb. And then on the bottom side of your hand, you'll actually see your other fingers, right? Because your thumb's kind of like that. So we're going to go in and we're going to carve our thumb, but yet we got to be able to see your other finger there. Otherwise, you're going to have one, it's going to look like you've got one humongous thumb. Now I'm staying just the outside of the line. Coming in with our knife. Like I always say, guys, you got to kind of imagine where the end of that knife is, okay? In your head, you got to kind of say, okay, the end of my knife is right there. And after you guys use your knife, if you're using a knife, you use it enough, you'll learn, you know, where the end of your knife is. Okay, so we want that just a little bit shorter. Okay. There's the side of our fourth finger. And remember, guys, this don't got to be perfect. These are caricatures. So I try to make them look a little, you know, I try to keep them looking kind of anatomically correct. It don't always work out for me, but I try. Okay, if we look at our hand, our thumb is sticking out, and we can see the knuckles. You know, unless your hand's flat like that. If you got it curled up to hold on to your duck, like Pete does here. Yeah, he's got that curled up to hold his duck. Okay, so that's about where we're at with the thumb anyway. And of course we can round it over here to make it look more like your thumb. And no, I'm not getting into painting all the little fingernails and all that stuff on. At least I don't think I am. We'll see. Maybe I will. I've got that really coarse bit in my dremel right now, which I think would be a little too coarse for this delicate of work. It's tricky enough to try doing with a knife. I guess we could probably get into our stone type bit. No, it's not a stone, it's a carbide cutter, it's a nugget bit. We've gone over that a few times. For separating your fingers, you have to have a very small Dremel bit, very pointy. Or if you have a high-speed air tool, like somebody we know has, we can use that to separate our fingers. But we'll try keeping this to where anybody can do it, right? They don't have to have a $500 high-speed air tool. They can get away with carving it with their pocket knife if they wanted to. That's all I used to use was an old-timer pocket knife back when they were still made by old-timer before they sold to Charade. In my opinion, the steel was better. The high carbon steel was better back then. Of course, everything got farmed out overseas, so we won't get into that discussion. Because if we started talking about knives, this video could go on for days. Okay, I'm going to show you guys. I'm showing you guys how to carve one hand, and then I'll probably do the other one off video. Because it's basically the same thing we're doing right now. Just that the hand will be in a different orientation. Because if we're going to have Pete holding the walking stick, then this hand, he's holding the walking stick in this hand, it's going to be like this, right? He's holding his duck in this hand, so it's like this. So that's basically what the hand comes out to look like, guys. It's not perfect by any means, but, you know, I'm not a professional at this. I'm just a newbie at it. All my carvings that I've done in the past used to be mostly animals. Okay, I think we can use our Flex Cut Micro. No, I am not affiliated with Flex Cut. Although if they wanted me to be, I would, because Flex Cut makes a very well-made product. Whether it be their chisels or knives. I have Flex Cut knives. That's the first set of knives I bought was for the beginning carver from Flex Cut. And I think they were, for 4 knives, I think they were $40 or $50. Which I use about three of them constantly. You want to see what they are? I'll show you. Sure, why not? Okay. Oh, come on out of there, you two. Okay. These are the 3 Flex Cut knives. I started out with 4 of them. One of them is still in the Flex Cut, sends these to you in a very nice vinyl roll-up deal. I don't carry it with me, the vinyl roll-up thing. I keep these in an old tackle box, old fishing tackle box, plastic fishing tackle box, and each one of them's got their, where you put your fishing lures, are about the same size as these knives. So each one of these have got their own special little compartment so the blades never touch. Important. Blades never touch, guys. You do not want your blades to ever come into contact with each other or a piece of steel. Plastic, okay. Another knife. No, I'm not tinking them together, no. Yeah, you don't want them to come in contact with another knife. This is Flex Cut's detail knife that comes with the kit. And then this is another style of detail knife that comes in the kit. And then this is actually, I think it's called a chip knife, but I use it because of the thickness of the blade. I use it for chunking off big chunks of wood. I wish it was longer. That's the only complaint I got. I wish this was at least 2 inches long for doing that. My plan is to get a heavier duty, longer carving knife. I can't remember the name of the company right now. It's can't remember it. MOVR something. But they're good and expensive knives through Tang. And I see a lot of carvers that use them. They've got the Scandi grind, just like, it's a flat grind. And they're good for taking out, they're called a Sawyer knife because the blade is actually curved on them. It curves up like this. But yeah, you can use them. They're great. They're inexpensive. They're good knives for roughing. Okay, so where were we? Oh, we were doing these fingers, right? And we were using, I don't remember, this V tool here, I believe. Okay. Those are the 3 knives I would recommend for a beginning carver. At least this one, the detail knife. Because that allows you to get on your line, come in, and then make that small V cut to separate them fingers. Because we're just doing this so you know they're fingers. We're not going to totally cut all the way through and separate them like your real fingers, because that would make this piece way too fragile. Oh, make the fingers way too fragile. I have lost fingers before, my friends. Not my fingers, but the fingers on my carvings. And yeah, you can glue them back on, but what a bugger. What a booger. You chip off a finger and it is trying to glue that little finger back on that hand. Forget about it. What a pain. So my theory from now on with little carvings is to make the fingers look like they're there, but don't separate them all the way through. Now that's just my opinion. You can do however you want to do it. But all I can say is that when you start cutting through on fingers, they start getting very, very snappy. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. They can start getting very snappy, guys. Now you can see that I glue paper onto my fingers. And the main reason I glue paper on my fingers is so my pencil lines stand out better. And then when I'm done with them, you can just get your knife edge right up underneath there and just drag that paper right off. Works very well. I know. Probably boring you guys to death, right? I think we're going to do some more work on these hands. And because I've been driving all day, guys. I had to go 200 and some miles up north. And then I stayed overnight last night. That's why no video yesterday. Sorry, Jordy. And then drive 200 miles back today. All for the wife's birthday. Because she likes going up to the cabin on her birthday. So that's what we did. Okay, see what I just did there? I cut a line straight across there, guys. And I'm going to come back with just the ever so slightly. Take that chip out of there. I said ever so slightly. So slightly. Okay. What's that give us? Gives us fingernails. Okay. And we will, because we want to see that separation when we paint this guy. When we paint Pete, we want to see that separation in our fingers. So we will turn our wood burner down because we don't want to make them grooves any deeper than what they are. So we'll turn our wood burner down. It's about 33. Probably doesn't mean anything to you guys, 33. I'm still figuring this wood burner out myself, and I don't quite know myself what 33 means. I'm going with 33. I think the highest setting is 100. I have never used 100, but I believe it's 100. Okay. So 33 would be almost a third of the burning power that this thing has. So now you'll be able to see it by Jiminy Cricket. So we've turned it down. It was at 44 when we did the duck swings. So we've turned it down. Just so that we're burning the wood, but we're not burning deep into the wood, I guess is the best way to put it, guys. Nice thing about a wood burner is it also gets rid of that fuzz. When you know how you get fuzz when you're carving down places? Well, you can run this wood burner through there, and it gets rid of all that fuzz, which is a good thing, right? Because that's less you got to try sanding. Yeah, see, now we're too light, so turn it up to 30. There we go, 30. Let's try 38 and see how that looks. It's all about patience, guys. It's all about patience. The more time, more patience you have on a project, the better it will look in the end, I promise you. If you just blast through this thing, you'll get it done quicker. But the end results may not be exactly what you want. Now, I understand. How can I make any money if I take all day wood burning and that stuff, Rob? Well, that's your personal choice. Most of my guys are sitting on a shelf over there. So, I mean, I'm not telling you what to do. This is just what I do. And I guess you can take what information you want from it and leave whatever you don't want from it. Matter of fact, Pete asked me that very question one day. He said, if it takes you so long to carve something, why do you do it? And I replied back to Pete, because I love to do it. That's why. If this was a business and I was trying to make money off of this stuff, I'd be bankrupt a long time ago. Because it's like that old saying goes, guys, time is money. So that's, you know, you're not going to be blasting off pieces first starting out. But the more you get used to it, the more you get that muscle memory going with your Dremel or your knives, the faster you're going to get at it. When I first started carving my hillbillies, okay, it might take me 2 days to carve a hillbilly. Then it got to where I could do one of those little hillbillies, smaller than this guy. I could do them in 20 minutes. And they still come out looking just as good as the ones that took me 2 days. So that's, the more you do it, the faster you're going to get. You take Jordy. He has done so many wood spirits that he can throw out a really decent looking wood spirit in 20 minutes. And he'll tell you that too. You know, the more time you spend doing it, the faster you're going to get at it, because you get that muscle memory going. And that's why baseball pitchers practice pitching baseballs, because it's all about muscle memory. That's why guys that shoot bow, they target practice to get that, when that, you know, pull that bow up, that muscle memory's there. So that you anchor your string in this exact same place you've been anchoring it. So it's all about repeatability. Whether you're bow hunting or you're shooting pool or any of that stuff, is all about the muscle memory. Carving with a knife, making those carves, making those cuts in the right places. It's all muscle memory. That's why I try telling you guys, you know, carve every day. Even if it's only for, you know, 10 minutes a day. You're building up that muscle memory, and you're building up your hand strength on top of it by carving every day. That's why I carve every day, or I try to carve every day. I mean, we run into unforeseen things. Everybody does, so you can't do it, but okay, I think this video is going to be way too long. Today is Tuesday. Tuesday. You know what that means? Only one more day. Wednesday. We get through Wednesday, and then we have a live chat with Jordy at Carbon Fusion. 5 p.m. Pacific time. So for us on the Eastern time, that's about 8 o'clock, I believe. Okay, well, I think you're looking pretty good there, Pete. We have still got to give Pete some hair. Well, he's got hair. We've got to go back and cut it in though. So here you go, Jordy. Here's your Tuesday video. Just carve, Rob. Just carving. I think Pete's ear thingy on this side's a little bit big, or it's a little bit small on this side. Yeah, I think we're gonna have to cut this one down a little bit, but shop inspector's losing her mind out there. So guys, I think this is where we are going to have to end this video, so I can go see what the shop inspector is getting all excited about outside. And I will give you guys a look at Wood Burnt Pete. Okay. So here he is, Wood Burnt Pete. Got one hand open, ready for the duck. Here's the duck. I think we'll put him in his hand this way. And there's Pete with his duck. He's gonna take his duck for a walk. I think we might have to carve our duck, bottom of our duck, so it fits in his hand better, or carve his hand so the duck fits in his hand better. But this is the way he's going. It's Pete and his pet wooden duck, and we're going to give him a walking stick in that hand, and then he can take his duck for a walk. So there we are, guys. Finished up. Just carved Rob saying just carve every day, carve something awesome. Be awesome, guys. And